show you another exercise.
Okay.
We did a scene up what we call the Muscle Rock, where we went up in the Malibu canyons and up to the top of the mountain there, where they had the best kind of lighting for taking photographs. So we brought the whole camera team up there.
In this outtake, Arnold and his buddies work on posing routines for the upcoming contest in South Africa.
If Louis hits this one, I fall up
With this one. We can't go into that one?
instantly with this one.
Louis don't follow that one?
He could, but you know, Arnold has done
This one.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Almost nothing made it into the movies, but it was really a fantastic, I think, sequence. Just to show again that we were all friends.
Good. Not bad. Nobody will look at the legs.
And the reason why it didn't really work was because
Rent was cheap. By day, they trained at Gold's or on nearby Muscle Beach, and at night, they let off steam, often at Arnold's bachelor pad in Santa Monica.
The main man is here, guys.
The cameras never stopped rolling.
Mr. Universe 1975. Cheers to the Mr. World. Robbie Robertson. Hey, well, wait a minute. Let him hit a double shot, a double bicep shot for this lady here. Hit it quickie. Hit a double bicep shot. Come on now. Come on now. Hit 3 shots. All right. All right. Okay, where's the champagne?
Okay, the era from like 1970 to 1980 was probably the most fun I ever had in my life.
So we had this unformed subject, and everyone was very eager to make something out.
Was Arnold's ambition, which was on display in another sequence cut from the film. It's Arnold visiting with his idol, retired bodybuilding champ, Reg Park. Arnold was patterning his career after Park, who'd gone on to star in Hercules movies in the 60s.
I think what perhaps happened to me about 15, 20 years ago is happening to you right now.
I know, it's an incredible thing.
The parallel is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like a repetition,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I looked up to you so much right from the beginning.
He was a kid wanting to emulate what I'd done, so it was a great compliment to me, and I took it in that sense.
Yeah, I remember in particular this one dream, because I felt like I was dreaming for 8 hours, the whole night. And it was just, it was like, you know, me being a king and staying on top of a mountain, and there was no room left for anybody else up there, okay, just for me. I mean, the whole thing was so much like, you know, a victory.
In the back of my mind, I knew that throughout history there had always been at least one worldwide bodybuilder. Sandow at the turn of the century was one of the highest paid entertainers in the world. Charles Atlas in the 20s and 30s. Steve Reeves in the 50s made a fortune in the movies.
After convincing Arnold to compete for one more Mr. Olympia title, first-time director Butler jumped headfirst into filmmaking.
Okay, you got the 8? 8. Head slate.
Just talk to these 2 guys here.
The concept was simple. Shoot the intense training leading up to the Mr. Olympia, then shoot the competition itself. Just let the story unfold in front of the camera. He started by shooting a test film for investors. In this never-before-seen footage, the first frames ever shot for Pumping Iron, Arnold pumps up backstage for a posing exhibition. Brooklyn versus Venice, California, a bizarre beach town, a refuge for artists and hippies, weirdos and wackos. In its own strange way, bodybuilding fit right in. If the sport had an epicenter, it was a legendary Gold's Gym, which is where the filmmakers began shooting.
Come on, Franco. What is this bullshit? Yeah. No, side chest, not front chest, Franco, side. Yeah, this thing's changed a little bit when we go to the side. Hey, look, Franco, what you have to do is when I say side chest, then hit the side chest and then it come out. And if you don't have it, don't hit it. No, don't hit it. Don't hit it.
We had camaraderie that was incredible. We'd train together. We'd go to the Gold's Gym at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's where everybody would meet. And I mean, the energy that came out of that little gym, it was only about 5,000 square feet. It could probably light up the city of Los Angeles.
Lou, what do you think your chances are today?
I will lose all. You're the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to do insurance.
Everything is under control here. Beautiful.
You're going to be king a long time, Arnold. You're going to be king a long time.
Thank you.
More than 25 years later, Ferrigno recalls his feelings that night.
When I came out in the prejudging, I realized that I was not going to come second. There's a chance I'm going to come third. And I'm looking at the audience, I can see my father's face. I was just, oh my God. It's like, because he was more disappointed than I was.
Third place, Lou Ferrigno.
I'll tell you something. What
The only thing that's left is Arnold's bullshit. That's why I'm up here, Arnold. See? I'm not wearing boots.
Lou, what do you think your chances are today?
I'm going to lose, Arnold. You're the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's going to do insurance? Everything is under control here. Beautiful.
You're going to be king a long time, Arnold. You're going to be king a long time.
Thank you.
The film was in the can, but now there was more than 100 hours of it to be cut down and crafted into a movie. Unfortunately, Butler was broke, having maxed out on his credit cards.
After I got back from Africa, I got a call every single day of the week from American Express because I'd succeeded in running up a $35,000 bill, and I had become their most important client. I was rather impressed with myself.
Out of desperation in 1976, they concocted an outlandish scheme. They put on a bodybuilding show at the